Okay, here we go. Surf. It's always nice to find another Aussie on, you know, on Twitch and all that kind of stuff. Just to go, hey, you're another Aussie. You know the pain of having really bad internet. Okay, is there something up here? Oop. Did not mean to do it twice. Okay, I should not have done it twice. Oh well. There's nothing really up there anyway. Indeed, I have ADSL 2+. Yeah. I had, I used to live in an area where it was exclusively ADSL. Like, ADSL 1. It was bad. But, yeah, now I'm on NBN. I specifically, because I was moving to Melbourne, and I specifically looked out for an area that had that was going to have NBN within 2 years. So it was a 2-year wait, and I finally got NBN. So that's why I'm streaming, because I can. Tropius. Let's go, bird. Ooh, it might have been a bad mistake. Yeah, my parents was in an area where ADSL 1 was the highest speed you could get. You couldn't upgrade because the NBN was rolling out. It was bad. It'll be 2019 by the time the town I live in gets NBN. Yeah. It's also, it might be in some areas. I remembered the town that I used to live in, or the city, where I used to live, right when they were like, okay, we're going to have a look at areas where we could first set up NBN. And as they were looking for it, our Telstra exchange in the city burnt down. So they spent all this money to recreate the exchange. And then they're like, yeah, we don't want to spend more money to upgrade you to NBN, so you're shit out of luck. Yeah, a lot of areas around Australia won't be getting NBN anytime soon. It's also like whether you want, like, if you want like hard internet, like cable internet, or cable NBN, so fixed NBN, sorry, fixed NBN or wireless NBN. And if they say, hey, you could have fixed or wireless, always go fixed. Because wireless NBN is shocking. Because there are so many stories about so many other people. Even a mate of mine has wireless NBN. And he says that if it's a slightly windy day and a tree, like, trees like leaning in the path of where the tower is to his house, look, the internet will cut out. It's that bad. Okay, so there's gonna be a waterfall here. Oop. Oh boy. What the? Why is there a little groove there? What's the point of that? Uh-oh. Am I on the other side? Okay. I was on the complete opposite side that I thought I was. think I'm wow. So yeah. Here's the thing about Australian NBN, right? Just to go back on that train. Like 90% of Australia wouldn't have NBN by the time that the next election's going to be. And then what's going to happen is the opposition are like, yeah, we'll upgrade it. And then everyone's going to vote for them. And then it gets stalled again. So annoying. Politics. Well, at least I'm thankful that at least our politics are full of idiots that don't get anything done. I'd rather have them than Trump, to be completely honest. But like, I remember back when the NBN was like, hey, we got the NBN and this is how it's going to be. And this is how much it's going to cost. And then the opposition literally said, hey, we're going to build a better, in air quotes, better NBN for less price. And then everyone's like, I'm going to vote for them. And then as soon as they get into power, they're like, yeah, we're going to make it worse. Our NBN's going to be worse than everyone's. And it's going to cost way more because we're just sitting around doing nothing. I remember Tony Abbott when he was in office, he was like 90% of Australia would have NBN by 2016, and it's 2017 now, barely 60%. I wouldn't even say 60% of Australia has NBN. I'd say like 20. Because literally it's like, because in Melbourne, where I'm living in, there is actually like 3 suburbs or 4 suburbs that have NBN. And then a whole bunch of... also, like, the area that I used to live in, like the country city that my parents live in at the moment, they say they have NBN, but, like, 90% of that area that have NBN is wireless NBN, which is worse than ADSL. Because, well, going back to my mate who said my mate who has wireless NBN, he said that he would rather go back to ADSL 2 on the old copper network than stay with the wireless. Because ADSL 2 was faster and it was more reliable. And that's saying something. Why am I going back down? Okay, where am I? Oh, that's where I am. I don't know why I went there. Okay, I need to go this way. Where am I? Okay, there. Rock smash. I'm trying to avoid talking too much politics because I have such a strong opinion of the state of Australian politics. I just don't, you know. Australian politics is, it's a shit show, but it's less of a shit show than the American politics. I'm just going to be that honest. I think I'm near the end. Am I near the end? Uh-oh. Okay. Let's go elect Doge for special attack. Obama was and is better than Trump. Oh, by far. From an outsider looking in, Obama had been the best president for like the past 20 years. Like 20 to 30 years. What was I going to do? I am max repel. And this is from an outsider who's like, doesn't pay attention. Because like when the mainstream media covers Trump more than they covered Obama in his entire stay in office, then you know something's up. It was like grass and dark. Ice beam! I'm just thinking it's hilarious that everyone is looking at the Trump campaign and Trump's all that kind of stuff. And everyone's going, you guys are idiots, can't you see what's happening? And then everyone's like accusing each other. And then the people that followed Trump are like, hold on a sec. He might not be the best. And everyone who went against him was like, what are you talking about? Just look at what's going on. Fear looms for World War III? Yeah. Well, to be honest, the rest of the world treats him like a petulant child. So, it's going to be over pretty quickly. Okay, excuse me. Like, if he just starts, like, throwing nukes around, it's going to be World War III against America. It's going to be everyone on America. To be completely honest. Yay! Nailed it. Okay. Beater Bill. So hold on, what was that? With Victory behind you, only a long stone walk away separates you from the... Sweet! Except Australia and Russia is allied with America. Yeah. Well, Australia is allied with a lot of people. But it's also... There has to be a stance on... If Trump, like... 75% of America decides Trump was the fault and it was only Trump, then he'd be kicked out. Also, if war does break out, I would rather a lifetime jail than to partake in war. Yeah. I mean, depends on how big the war is. Because there's constant war still going out in the Middle East. It's just that nobody really pays attention to it that much because of it's away from us. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna check out. I don't know if dark types are bug and fighting. I'm gonna go put Rocky at the front just to test. Hi. Remember me? There we go. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna save. Boom, 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 wow. Nice. So we're gonna head straight in and say hello. The rappel wore off. Hi. Sydney of the Elite Four. So they got level 46 to 49 Pokemon, and most of mine are like level 30 something. Also, to change the subject, has anyone else been playing / doing the Pokemon, the Magikarp, I think it's called Magikarp Jump or something? Makes me sad knowing the state of our world is in like if things develop at a rate it does, eventually our beautiful world will cease to support life. Yeah. Sad to think of it that way. And then most politicians are like, no, global warming doesn't exist. And they're like, and we're like, here is several scientific reasons why global warming does exist and it's happening right now. And then the politicians just put their hands over their eyes and was like, see no evil, see no evil. There is no evil. I don't see it. But yeah. I've been playing this Magikarp Jump. It's really stupid game. It's basically, you've got a Magikarp and you have to, well, air quotes, train it up. The world needs a savior. I think the world's saviors would have to be, like, the smart people. Because, like, Bill Nye has been preaching all this science, all the science stuff, and what's going on, and, like, we are killing the planet, and it's like, Bill Nye is like, you guys are fucking morons, and here's 11 reasons why. I had a friend send me an interview, and it was a scientist who was interviewing a flat earther, so it's like someone who believes in that the world is flat. And what happened was that she goes, show me evidence that the world isn't flat. And he gives her like 20 different articles of evidence. And she goes, okay, now show me some evidence that the world isn't flat. And then he just looks at her going, I just gave you reasons. And she goes, no, give me some reasons. It's like, what are you doing? I could not watch the entirety of the interview. Ah, Fox, nice. Absol, yes. Let's go, Rocky. Science never lies. Science has facts that prove things. Science is, I think someone explained to me before. Science is experimentation that produces constant results to a point that you can say this is a constant and it constantly works out. Like, for example, like the theory of relativity. If something goes against the theory of relativity, then it might not be the thing, or like you need to expand on the theory of relativity kind of thing. Like every science finding is a theory in the beginning and someone has to figure it out. But then there are some people that just make stupid things. Like, oh my god. I remember the story. There was a guy who believed that the Earth was flat. So to prove people wrong, he brought a spirit level, you know, those things that people use to make sure something is like level, like the building. When you're like building something that it's level, you know, it's like a 90-degree angle. He brought that onto an airplane and watched the bubble to make sure that the Earth was flat. I mean, seriously? Yeah. He was an interesting person. To be honest, I haven't looked too far into the you know, the Earth is flat theory, that method is inaccurate. Yeah, because it would be the level of the plane as well, and the plane is not level when it's in flight, because its nose has to be up all the time. But like, if you're in the airplane, look at the window. You see the curvature of the Earth out the window. I mean, seriously. Let's keep Fox. And then I believe the Earth is round and we revolve around the sun. Yeah. I mean, the only way that we can... The only reason that a normal person, like a person, can go, this is what it is, and I believe that is, like, I know that it is like that, is if you actually went to outer space. For the average person, going to outer space is not really viable. So we have to believe the experts. It's like that whole thing of, I'm a Cosmos guy? Yeah. I just like that. But it's like, when you're thinking about it, if you're the average guy, you can believe one thing, you can believe another thing, you can believe religion is real, you can believe it's not real. But it'll get to the stage where... Whoops, I forgot to change. Oh well. It'll get to the stage where if you believe one thing, you might believe another thing. Like, people were mocking the Christian faith by creating their own one, saying that the entity in the sky is a giant spaghetti monster. We know so little, and there is a large amount of information out there. True. But yeah, like, you cannot know everything. That's the thing. You can believe something, and it might not be true, but, you know. And it's like, you can get to the point where, like, real life might be an actual... I can't remember what it's actually called. Like, oh, what was it called? The Truman Show. Like, we could all be in a Truman Show-esque thing that the government runs. But it's like, how can we prove it wrong or correct? Because it might be way bigger than everything else. Because it might be like, the universe that we know of is like a tiny encapsulated thing of aliens, right? This is going way off the deep end. But it could be a tiny Truman Show-esque bubble thing for aliens to look on, like, the different sources of life. I'm not saying it's true, but how can we prove that wrong? I don't know. We just went really philosophical there. Just went way too in depth. When we're playing Pokemon. Aw, yeah. Wouldn't learn Protect. No. Indeed. So yeah, like, there's no real point. Like, if someone believes one thing, someone believes another thing, there's no real point to argue. Because that's the whole thing, like, nearly every religion, I'm saying that. Like, Hinduism is different, Hinduism and, like, Islam is different, but, like, the whole basis of, like, Protestantism, Catholicism, all that is just based around the same thing. My method of training Pokemon is I get my Pokemon to level 100 before I verse the Elite Four. 100! It's a little overboard, don't you think? I mean, I'm gonna lose anyway, but... gonna bear a grudge. Okay. Not at all. I mean, where would you train? Where would you train up your Pokemon to get to level 100 without using cheats? Because I can get a level 100 Pokemon right now if I just went, like, looked up a code. Because I'm using an emulator. Like, if I just looked up a code, got infinite candies, rare candies. But I don't want to do that. I want to keep it kind of authentic. Okay. I'll make a habit of doing this. Okay. So I'm going to test something out. So, I'm going to go Pokemon, bird, whoops, fly. Okay, so you can fly to either the Pokemon League or the Pokemon Center, which is good. So what I can do is like fly other places. But you always double the level of the gym leader's highest Pokemon. That guarantees my success. Okay, I mean that would be your one of training. Like other people would share the same one. Me personally, I have it just lower or like equal to try and like just take them on, or just because this is a stream playthrough that I try and, you know, get there as quick as possible just to not waste time. But once I go to Versing Elite 4, I grind a Victory Road until my Pokemon level 100. That, to be honest, personally, that would be a little boring for me, but if it works for you, then that's great. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. It's been a 3-hour stream. And I'm just gonna head off. So I'm gonna do a little bit of training off stream, but you know, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the follows. Thanks for talking in chat. And I will catch you guys another time. See yous.